Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Hako episode 12 reaction. So the previous episode, yes, Taiki is not okay. Like, he is again overthinking about the situation. For example, at the morning when he met Chinatsu, he was thinking like, oh, should I talk to her, this and that. But then he realizes that Chinatsu is very normally talking to him, so he's like, you know what, she did say that, all that we have to do is just forget about what happened and just act normally. So yeah, but obviously Taiki is not really happy with that whole situation. He's like thinking about it, and later on we get to see Hina talk about the fireworks festival, and they decide to go there. At first, Taiki was mistaken. He thought that, like everyone was going, but then later, like Hina, in the end, was able to go alone with him because, first and foremost, Hina's friend dipped out, and obviously, Kyo also dipped out, realizing what Hina's trying to do. And so yeah, in the end, they end up going together. Also, there was that whole section with Hina telling Taiki to be more like himself, like, instead of trying to suppress his own feelings and everything, try to be like the original Taiki as he was, like, don't hurt yourself trying to like think of other people's situation, and like don't end up hurting yourself in that process. Either way, and yeah, now they're at the fireworks festival. Hina is in a yukata, and yeah, that's where it ended. So let's see what happens. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Oh, there they are. Buttered potatoes. Oh, there you go. Well, okay. Hmm. Okay. Girls, that's the name of this episode? Okay. Damn, it's pretty damn crowded. Well, he deliberately did that. Oh boy. Well, he did kind of react a little bit, if you remember. Oh Lord. Hmm. Oh, he brought stuff. Oh. Oh. No, he brought that. Oh, damn. Well, obviously. Oh. Well. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, yo. Well. Okay. Yeah. You. Okay. Typical anime fireworks. Oh, that's why then the title is. Okay. Hmm. Is he going to bump into Chinatsu or something? Hmm, there's a possibility. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Hmm. Well, as you said, it's on the ways. So, hey, damn. Wow. That face. Oh, these guys. Oh, wait. Oh my god. Fantastic. Ugh. Well, he was also quite. Oh, who the? Who's that? Oh. What an incredible school. Wait, what? Yeah. Oh my. Oh, she's the one. Okay, I just remembered. Yeah, he mentioned it. I yeah, I was gonna say Haru probably mentioned him. Yeah. Oh. Oh, he told. Okay. He told her about Taiki liking Chinasa and all that. I think. And since Taiki and Chinas, sorry, she and Chinas were friends. Yeah, she knows. What's with his face? Look at his face. Oh boy. Well. Hmm. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, that's. Hmm. Damn. Wow. Oh, they found him. Damn, he found her quite quick in this, you know, crowded place. Oh, she heard the announcement. Okay. What the? Oh, she's putting something on her hair, I think. Yeah. Ah, that's cute. Okay. Wow. Yeah, you're laughing. Oh, the face on the thing. Oh boy. Hmm. Nope. Damn. Oh yeah, they said they'll take a break, like for 15 minutes or something, and now they've resumed. Okay, Taki. Yeah, I was gonna say. Hmm. Oh, so she probably refused. That's nice. You know those guys that came to. Hmm. Oh wow, this is the 12th episode. That's kind of appropriate, like end of one like section. Yeah, he probably is going to go to practice and stuff. Hmm. Oh. Oh no. Wait, oh boy, the other team scored. Hmm. Oh. Damn. Nice. Yeah. Oh. Oh, she's listening to music. Damn, she's gonna get jump scared. Oh, never mind. Hey, well, he said good luck. Wait, what? What's going on here? Why is he sleeping here? Wait, I thought someone did something with a pen or something. Don't he doesn't use it as a blanket. He's he's still asleep. Not necessarily. They're friends to begin with. So like no, that wasn't a lie, but again, yeah, I could have been more free towards like I can understand what she's trying to say. Like she wouldn't have been so conflicted if she knew that he's going out with someone. She would be able to suppress her feelings away better and more. Yeah, it'll be fun if he wakes up now. Oh, she's gone. Yep. Well, there you go. Hmm. That was today's episode. Okay, that was a really good episode. I guess you could say really good conclusion to the first part. Like this is, like 12 episodes, and now we're probably going to be starting something like, fresh from next episode onwards. But a few things we got to see today. First and foremost, we had the whole fireworks festival, that thing, the conclusion to it. Then we had a little bit of Chinatsu, us getting to know Chinatsu's feelings in a better way, and what she thinks about Taiki and all that, and the little bit of a misunderstanding that has started now, that whole thing with Hina. So yeah, all those things we saw in today's episode. Now, okay, so there's a few things I want to talk about here. First and foremost, I'm actually glad, like, I think I was saying this in the previous episode. I was like, I hope that there's nothing happens that kind of jeopardizes this little moment that I guess Hina got to herself. Because, like, we all know eventually it's not going to happen. Hina will be the one who would be heartbroken by the end. So at least, the little moment that she has gotten, let her just have that. Like, so I was saying in the previous episode, I really hope like no interruptions come in or nothing happens that kind of makes the whole situation and sour, like, like puts on like a sour mood at the very end, and like something like that. So yeah, at first, as the episode was proceeding, I was thinking there was a possibility that by the end, like, like Taiki wouldn't be able to reach in time, and the fireworks festival would end, and then Hina would be like sad by the end of it. But thankfully, none of that happened. And also that section where those guys, that guy and his friends, they were like, oh, should we, like should we hang out with you or something like that. I was thinking like, Hina was going to be like, okay, fine, whatever, because technically what they have said is that, oh, we have decided to come in a group, but people left in the middle of it, so now we are alone. So technically they were supposed to be in a group, so now that a few of her other friends are like, oh, should we join, there's no particular reason to deny them, you know if that's the excuse they're going with, that, oh, we've come in a group and a lot of people have just left, so no particular reason to deny them. So that's why I was thinking maybe she was going to, obviously it wouldn't sit well with her, but she would still say, okay, fine. But as we saw in the end, that also didn't happen. She probably said something like, no, like, I would prefer it if we were, I don't know what she exactly told them, but I'm guessing something along those lines. And, something like that. I think she probably said like something like, oh, I'm not sure, like he's not here, so I wouldn't, like, like unless and until he, comes and agrees to it, I shouldn't say yes, or something like that. I'm assuming she said something like that, and and they left. So that also didn't happen. So in the end, when Taiki was able to reach them, her back in time, yeah, everything was okay. So it ended in a more positive note than I thought it was going to, because like at this point, like I said, I've seen so many animes with the whole this type of trope happening, and usually in those animes, by the end of it, the characters who are supposed to be the characters who will be losing, they end up getting, like, I don't know, like kind of the whole focus gets sidetracked from them, and like, and the main characters end up spending more time, and the other character gets like disappointed by the end. Like stuff like this happens. Like these type of scenarios are usually used as a plot device, uh, at the expense of the character who's going to lose eventually, to enhance the relationship between the main two characters. Like, it has happened in so many other animes, and usually I don't really care that much, but at least for Hina, I like, she's such a, like, good character. I would feel bad about, something like that happening to her. So I was like, yeah, man, like she's going to get disappointed eventually, so at least just leave her alone for now. Just let her have her time. Don't make this into like a plot device at her expense to progress the relationship between Taiki and Chinatsu. And they didn't do that actually, which I appreciate. Like, yeah, like I actually appreciate. So it ended well for, I guess you could say, Chinatsu and Hina. And I guess like he also met not Chinatsu, sorry, god damn it, Taiki and Hina. And Taiki also met Chinatsu in the middle of it a little bit, and they had their moment, kind of, I guess. And yeah, there you go. So that is the situation. And this is the thing. Like, if you think about it, I guess you could say the current situation, has become so overly complicated because of, a little bit of it falls on, Chinatsu's way of looking at the situation, and her trying to, like, like, go get away from these type of scenarios, because she's afraid of the fact that this might end up, like, affecting her basketball. That's what she's afraid of, I guess, because basketball is obviously her most important thing, and she doesn't want anything kind of getting in that. She wants to solely focus on basketball. But like, you can see, I feel like this is like actually working in a very opposite manner than she thought it would. Like, now she's thinking more about this, and this is becoming a much bigger obstacle than it would have if she just, like, accepted the situation and accepted her own, like, feelings that are changing. But the fact that she's trying to block it out and just, it's affecting her more. And I feel like this might actually, I don't know, like, this might actually fester and become like something that actually hurts her career, like, not career, but her dream, where she's trying to go. This might become a bigger problem for her. Like, instead of accepting it, the fact that she's trying to push it away makes it even more, like, kind of like, makes it even more difficult for her to accept seeing Taiki in situations like this. And she's like thinking about it, and it's kind of distracting her and everything. So yeah, at the end of the day, this is more detrimental, I would say, for, instead of, if she just, like, accepted the whole situation, and accepted the fact that, what, yeah, maybe my feelings are changing, let's see where this goes. That would have been way better than this. um but then again, I guess I can also understand her point of view, because she doesn't want anything coming in the way of her goal. Right. And now she has another, like, on top of that, now she has this whole misunderstanding. She thinks that Taiki lied to them, and she thinks that Taiki is like dating her or something. I guess she has always gotten that vibe from the very beginning. Like, from the very beginning, she thought that like, was like dating Taiki or something, and she had this whole misunderstanding. Um, which I guess it's not really difficult to, like, like, mistake, because Taiki and Hina, they are very open with each other. And like, yeah, it's understandable. As a person from the outside, if you're looking in this whole thing, you can mistake the situation. Also, the fact that they're like going to the firework festival, and the fact that Taiki said that, oh no, we're going in a group, and then she sees them alone, and she's like, wait, what? That was a lie then? So this made the whole situation even more confusing, and she's having this whole misunderstanding now, which I feel like it'll get resolved sooner or later. I'm sure he'll get to know from someone by the end that, oh, they were supposed to be going together, but at the last moment everyone just, like, pulled out. So yeah, um something like that, we'll see. Right. Okay. And yeah, and there you go, that is what today's episode was. So I'm actually glad that, like, at least Hina's situation ended in a positive note. Like, like, Taiki was able to reach back in time. They spent the rest of the like, fireworks festival there. And yeah, And obviously, I do feel bad for Chinatsu a little bit, but then again, I'm just thinking like, yeah, eventually they are going to get together. So there's no point in getting becoming sad for her. I'm feeling more sad about the fact that Hina's going to get rejected eventually. But for Chinatsu and Taiki, like like from the looks of it, it's pretty damn obvious that both like each other, and it's just like a matter of time, I guess. Yeah, so like eventually everything will be okay. So that's why I feel like, yeah, it's fine. They're gonna get together eventually. So yeah, there you go. It's just the fact that Chinasu will need to realize her own feelings and come into terms with it, and realize, as as that girl said, Chinasu's friend, Haru's girlfriend, she said that you are thinking too much about this, or something like that. She said, yeah, you're being something like that. She said, yeah, I don't exactly remember the words word to word, but she said something like that, which is true. Like, yeah. Also, yeah, speaking of that, we got to see Haru's girlfriend today, who's also Chinasu's friend. And it actually makes sense now why Chinasu and Haru were so, I guess you could say, like, so good friends with each other, because I guess they met via his girlfriend. So these two were friends, and like when her friend started dating Haru, she probably introduced him to her, and they were like, "Oh, we go in the same, like, same school." That probably it was something like that, I'm assuming. So it makes sense, and it also makes sense why Hari was asking Chinatsu for help to buy something for her from for his girlfriend. If you remember, like, I don't remember exactly which occasion it was. What is her birthday or something? I don't remember, but there was something like that. That is why they were coming back together from school after buying that. So because of that, because she knows her this well, like, it makes a lot more sense now. Like, because like they're friends, it makes sense why Haru confided in Chinatsu to buy something for her. Right. And there you go. And from the looks of, so like they're like kind of like best friends, I'm assuming. And yeah, they are like going in different schools, but yeah, and I think they mentioned here as well in today's episode as well. They mentioned that she's in like some kind of showbiz or something, like some kind of a like a like a what did they say? Like a, wait a minute. I don't remember the exact word, but yeah, showbiz. There you go. Okay, yeah, it's correct. Showbiz. Right. So there you go. That is. It's kind of funny seeing like that section where, so Haru probably told her about him, about like Taiki, and the fact that Taiki likes Chinans. What is funny here? I feel like she's the only person who has both sides of the story. Because just think about it. Like, Haru only knows about the part of the story of Taiki, where Taiki likes Chinasu and all that. Haru has actually no idea about Chinasu's feelings. While she knows about the part of the story from Chinasu's perspective, where, if you remember, they were in a cafe, and, or was it a diner, whatever it was, and this is where she was asking her that, oh, are you not conscious about him or something, and Chinasu was like, yes, I am, something like that, she said. So she also had that part of the story as well. So she's the sole person here who actually has both parts of the story, like, just like the audience, that is us, who's seeing the story, like this. She's the only character here who actually knows both the characters' feeling. Like, because Haru told her about Taiki's situation and how Taiki likes her, and she has herself has talked to Chinatsu, and she knows Chinatsu's feelings for him as well. Like, like, at least she's conscious about him, that part. So she has the full picture, at least in this situation. The only person who has the full picture, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So you're right. And that's why she was kind of giggling, like when she got to know, she was like, oh, it's you. Okay, okay. Right. And that is also why Chinasu was like looking at her like this, like as if she was telling her not to say anything, because Chinasu talked to him about him to to her in the cafe, and Chinasu was probably trying to like signal her to say like don't say anything unnecessary, please. Because I feel like she would have said something like, "Oh, so you're the boy Chinasu talks about so much." If she said something like that, oh boy, that would have been crazy. And I feel like Chinasu realized that she was going to say something like that, so she was like signaling her with her eyes, like, don't mention anything." And she kind of stopped midway, and she was like, "Okay," and like, yeah, right. Yeah, and there you go. That was today's episode. Now that was the first section, and then we had the second section in the end, the final little section where everyone's back to school again. They're doing their practice and all. Like Chinatsu is kind of messing up a little bit because of the pressure and everything. And then we have that section where Taiki's just sleeping in the hall. Like, why is he sleeping in the hallway? I don't understand that. Like, I guess he's probably you cannot really go inside, like, because everyone's playing inside and doing their thing, doing the activities. So I guess that's why he's outside sleeping. But couldn't he have like gotten to some places, maybe like the nurse office or something? I don't know. Like, like why in the hallway? Like he could have gone to any empty class and just like laid down there or something. Like, why in the hallway like that? Oh no. Right. And yeah, and this is where we get to know that Chinasu has a massive misunderstanding about the situation. And yeah, none the wiser. She's thinking of so many different things. And she's thinking like, oh, he lied to us, this and that. And she's kind of thinking like, oh, maybe it's because he lied to us, maybe that means he's dating Hina. And that also brings another thing which we saw here, which is like, if you are dating her, then you could have told me. Then I wouldn't have. And the whole section cuts off after that. Well, obviously, like I can understand what she's trying to say here is that since she's also conscious about him, a little bit at least, if she knew that he was dating Hina, then she's saying that it would have been easier for her to give up or to forget those feelings, or the consciousness part would probably drastically reduce. But like, since that hasn't happened, and the fact that she's not really confirmed whether she's dating Hina or not makes it a weird type of a dilemma for her as well, where she's not able to keep her feelings in check because there's no concrete evidence or proof that he's dating Hina. If there was, if he actually told him that, oh yeah, I'm going out with her or something like that, then that would have been it. She would have gotten closure and she could end that chapter over there. But that's not what's happening. She has no idea what is going on, and Taiki hasn't said anything to him. It's just that she's speculating that he is going out with Hina, but speculation means nothing in this situation because it doesn't matter how much you speculate, unless and until you get a confirmation, your feelings won't be able to you won't be able to stop your feelings. So that is why she's still in a dilemma and she cannot close that chapter. You know, it's wide open and she cannot do anything about it. That's why she's like, why lie? If you're going out with her, you could have said that to me. And having this misunderstanding. Okay, and yeah, and that's how this ended today's episode. Now let us see what happens in the next episode. Beginning of a new arc, I'm assuming. This was episode 12, so I'm guessing a new arc will start. And a new year as well, because of the this is like this will be the like a complete new beginning for Taiki for his badminton and all that stuff. He has to practice, get good enough to beat Yusa, then go to the prefecturals, like all that stuff he'll have to do. He has to be ready to face that. Right. So that was today's episode. Now let me talk about this episode scene by scene. In the very first scene, we are in the festival, and you can see Taiki and Hina are both walking. Hina's eating the candied apple, and Taiki's like, "Damn, she's not really speaking. This is kind of weird." And Hina is obviously embarrassed, so she is like, "Oh, let me just go and buy some yakisoba," and she leaves. And she's kind of thinking about like different stuff, like, "Oh, is my hair done well? Is my dress okay? Oh, I was eating this candied apple. Did my lipstick go out because of that?" All these things she's thinking, and then she like goes to the yakisoba stall, gets two yakisobas. She's also thinking like, "Oh, it will be so good if he at least tells me something like, oh, I look good,' or something like that." But obviously Hina knows Taiki, and he's like, in no way he's going to say that. But the funny thing is like that actually happens later on, which was so unexpected. I wasn't also expecting that. So yeah. Right. Anyways, after that they go and sit down, and like Hina's like quietly sitting down, and then like a mosquito comes and like bites her. And Taiki's like, "Oh, I got a thing, like an ointment," and Hina tries to put it on her neck, but with her hair and everything, it's just getting all over the place. So Taiki's like, "Oh, let me do it." And then he realizes, wait, this is kind of awkward, like like right. And he sees her hair, and he realizes that, oh, one of the strand of hair was kind of like like untangled. So he's like, "Oh, did you do your hair?" And and Hina's like, "Wait, are you making fun of me or something?" He's like, "No, obviously not. Why are you twisting my words?" And then Hina realizes that one strand is out, so she's like, "Oh, you are definitely making fun of me." At which Taiki is like, "No, I'm not. Like, I'm just thinking about the fact that it is so difficult, obviously, doing your own hair like that. Like, you cannot really see yourself. You have to, like, just do it like that. And it's so difficult to do. And I was just admiring the fact that you were able to do it so well. Like, you don't twist my words." And then he said here that, like, I was just, where's that part? Here we go. "It looks cute. I'm trying to compliment you." At which Hina's like, "Wait, what?" Yeah, and there you go. And she's like, "Oh, like, say it again." And she's like smiling and everything. And Taiki was probably going to say it again, but the, you know, fireworks obviously like starts at that exact moment, just starts popping in the sky. And I'm like, wow, typical anime fireworks, you know? Oh boy. Like, this is the thing, the same as trope. Fireworks in anime and train stations. God damn it. Same old thing, over and over again. Especially doing confessions and all that. Never, ever confess in front of a train station. Or when it's fireworks time. Never do that. That's a recipe for disaster in anime. So, good lord. Okay, so yeah, their whole conversations get interrupted here. But Taiki does think like, damn, like I just gave her one compliment and she's like smiling like this. I wasn't expecting that. Then he's like, yeah, like girls, like it's difficult to understand them. But like it depends, like it depends. As he was saying, like it's like one compliment was able to make her like happy. Like at the end of the day, compliments make anyone happy. I feel like whoever is like complimenting you, if that person is like an actual person or something, like you'll feel nice, you'll feel happy about it. Unless and until you hate that person. Obviously, if you hate someone and that person compliments you, you'll think that she's making fun of you or something. And it'll piss you off even more. But like that's why I said it depends on the who is complimenting you. It depends on that. But like most of the time, like 80% of the time, a compliment is a nice thing. Like anyone will be happy with a compliment. um right, especially if it's someone that you like. um Either way, after this scene, Taiki's like, "Okay, let me go to the bathroom," and he goes to the he goes there, and he's coming back, and that is where he comes across Chinatsu trying to console this lost child. And Taiki comes here, and he's like, "Okay, let me help you out," and they start going to find her mother. and like, and the kid is like, oh, let me grab both your hands, and she's like grabbing both their hands. And yeah, and this is where those guys come in, like that one guy who likes Hina, if you remember, in that in the previous episode we saw him. I don't know his name, but and they were like, oh, like you're here as well, and Hina's like, yeah, like we were planning on going with our friends, but our friends just dipped at the end, so like now it's me and Taiki. And then he's like, oh, so then should we join you? It will be more fun in a bigger group. And I'm like, bruh, stop it. Like I said, I was like, do not let anything just like obstruct this momentary amount of happiness that she would have felt, you know because at the end of the day, she will be the one who will get heartbroken with the whole situation with Taiki, you know so I'm like, come on, man. But yeah, at the end we see, like, she probably was like, nah, it's fine, like, you guys go ahead. I was also thinking that Taiki would be late by the end of it, because the whole Chinasu situation, but that also didn't happen, which surprisingly, like, everything went smoothly by the end. um okay, so right after that, we see them trying to find the mom, and this is where this lady kind of bumps into Taiki. And Taiki like looks at her, and Taiki's like, oh damn, she's stunning. Which is true, she has a very, I guess you could say, like, radiating presence. Like, looking at her, you can see she's one of the probably one of the supporting characters, like, out of this sea of characters. She stands out, and I immediately was like, wait, is she going to be someone important? And yeah, immediately I get my answer, because Chinasu's like, oh, it's you. um Karen, that's her name. Okay. And then she's like, oh, gee. And so, yeah, from kindergarten to grade school, they were together, like, no, from kindergarten to grade school. Wait a minute. We're best friend in the same class through kindergarten and grade school. Like, it's like, what an incredible school. Bro. Yeah. And yeah, and this is where she's like, oh, she's also Haryu's girlfriend. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right, that makes a lot of sense. Like, a lot of questions gets answered because of that. Okay. And then obviously she's like, oh, who's this person? And this is where she gets to know that this is Taiki. And she's like, oh, you're Taiki. And she remembers what Haryu told her. And then she looks at Chinasu as well, and she realizes that Chinasu's like, nope, don't mention anything that I told you about him. Because obviously, And then she's like, Taiki was like, what did, like, what type of impression do you have of me? And she's like, oh, it's nothing, like, nothing important. And she says, oh, he said that you have a lot of guts. And Taiki's like, nah, definitely he said something else. That seems like a lie. Oh boy. Anyways, then she goes back to Haryu, and she's like, oh, I saw a very interesting thing. And she talks about that. And, um, right, they start talking about, like, the whole situation with Taiki and Chinatsu. And yeah, and this is where Karen says that, or not says, but she thinks that, yeah, Chinatsu is overthinking this. I feel like Chinatsu is overthinking this, which is true, which is 100% true. Okay, next we are in the Lost, and that place where the announcer who announces, and he tells them that the mother was there up until very recently, and she just left to find her again. So Taiki's like, let me go and take a look. You and the girl sit down over here. So you can see Chinatsu and the girl is talking. The girl talks about a lot of things to Chinatsu, talks about how she, like, the yukata that she's wearing. And she's like, oh, why didn't you wear a yukata? At which Chinatsu says that, oh, like, like, yeah, it's difficult and all that. And she also says, like, I know, like, my mom does it for me. All these conversations they're having. She talks about how, like, basketball uniform is like her main uniform that she loves, and she talks about her dream to her. And this is where also she thinks about her conversation with Karen back in the diner, where she admitted to her that, yeah, I am a bit conscious about him. So, this section kind of proves that, yeah, she, like, I think, like, I literally said this in the previous episode. I said something along the lines of that we have been following Taiki's perspective, so we are kind of clear about what Taiki feels. We still haven't gotten any type of inkling to what Chinatsu feels. Like, she is giving hints of her being conscious of Taiki, but it's not really proved or confirmed because we don't really get to see her, hear her inner voice, unlike Taiki, who we are following around and who we know what his feelings are. And today's episode, literally, they gave us the answer where that scene proved, where Karen was like, "Oh, like, are you conscious about him?" And she said that, "Yes, I am." That proves that whole thing. So there you go. We have an answer to that. Either way, the mom comes in after that, and the mom hugs the kid, and they're like, "Okay, thanks so much." And when they're leaving, the kid is like, gives Chinasu like a hair ornament thing, like, not a hair ornament, it's like a little kid's thing, like a hair clip thing. It has like a face of like some anime character or something. Anyways, yeah, and she's like, "Oh, like, this is make you pretty, even though you don't have the yukata, this will make you, yeah." Right, and they say goodbye, and Taiki's like laughing, like seeing her wear that. Yeah, and then while on the way, the fireworks starts popping, and this is where Chinatsu's like, "You should hurry, like, they're waiting for you, your group." Yeah, and he's like, "Yeah, like, see you later, see you at home." Right, and he runs towards, Hina. And yeah, there you go. We see that Hina's alone. So yeah, she probably told them something that, "Oh no, like, it's fine, like, it's okay, no need to join us," or something like that. Taiki asks her like, "Oh, anything the problem? Like, did something happen?" And she's like, "No, it's fine, everything is okay." And then they say, like, she says like, they say like, "Let's come next year again." Right. And then you can see Chinatsu goes back to her group, but Chinatsu is not really, you know, smiling or not really that happy about the situation. Right. Next, that was the end of the fireworks, like, that whole thing. Next, we see the, like, next day they're back to their same routine, going to school, even though it's summer vacation, they have their practice and all that. So Taiki is off to run again, and back at school, Chinatsu is practicing basketball, and she kind of makes a minor mistake. One of her friends are like, like, "It's fine, like, I know you're stressed out because of that. Don't worry, everything will be okay." And then we see Taiki like observing Haru, and Haru's like winning everything, like, and he's like ready for the finals. And this is also where he remembers what Hyodo told him, that Yusa will probably be there in the prefectures, Haru will be there, you know, and he's now full of motivation, and he remembers what Hyodo told him, and he's trying to kind of practice exactly as he gave him advice, you know. And the shuttlecock kind of goes towards Hina, and Hina's kind of busy like listening to the, I'm guessing she was like listening to the gymnastic like music or whatever that she has to, so she didn't hear it. Taiki comes, and Taiki says like, "Oh, good luck." And Chinatsu's friend, sorry, Hina's friend comes in, and he's like, "Oh, didn't you hear that?" Hina's like, "Wait, what are you, what did you say?" And he's like, "Yeah, nothing, it's fine." So yeah, she didn't hear that. She would have been happy if she heard that, but obviously she, yeah. Either way, next we see Chinatsu go up, kind of. She's going to open the windows, I think, and this is where she comes across Taiki just sleeping in the hallway, and this is where she's like talks to him. Obviously he's asleep; he doesn't hear anything. But this is where we get to know that Chinatsu has a huge misunderstanding. She thinks that Taiki lied to them about going together with Hina, because he said that they're going in a group, and then she saw him go together alone with Hina. So now he's thinking that, oh, maybe they're going out together or something. And this also brings her to the to the realization that if he's going out with her, he could have just told me that, and all these like unnecessary feelings that I'm like having thoughts and all that, none of that would have happened because I would have had a closure. I could have closed the whole thing, and be like, you know what, Taika is going out with someone, it's never meant to be. So yeah, she could have closed that. But because it's in such a weird way, kind of like just on a balance, like with no proper conclusion or no proper explanation about the situation, she doesn't know whether he's going out, whether he's not, which makes her feel more conflicted, and she's having all this dilemma. So yeah, that's what's going on. Right. Anyways, but yeah, this kind of shows that she has this whole huge misunderstanding, because obviously she doesn't have the whole picture of the situation. She doesn't know that like a lot of other people were supposed to go, but they dipped at the last moment. She has no idea about that. She has no idea about the fact that Taiki talked to her about going to the fireworks in a group before he knew that only both of them would be going together. Like, he had no idea at that point. He thought that everyone is going, like Kyo and everyone else. It's later at the very end that he realized that no one's coming. Only Hina will be coming. So yeah, like these misunderstandings. But I'm sure it'll get cleared up eventually. But before that, yeah, as Chinatsu says, this is actually kind of like like affecting her, you could say. And the situation, it's not easy, like the situation that she kind of she told him that, oh, let's forget about this, that doesn't make it any easier. So yeah, hopefully this doesn't affect Chinatsu's inter high, and she's able to focus solely on that, or at least come to a like a come to in terms with her feelings before going to the inter high. Hopefully the whole um, situation with Taiki and the misunderstanding gets resolved. And as we have seen, she's the type of person who keeps everything to herself. So unless and until Taiki realizes what's going on, or she gets to know the situation and the misunderstanding resolves itself, she's not going to like go and ask Taiki about the situation. She's never going to do that. So it's going to keep festering in her head. So yeah, that's another thing to think about. Anyways, that is where it ended. So yeah, let's wait and see. So that was today's episode number 12. And yeah, like I said, I think this season has 24 episodes. So this is going to continue for 3 more months. So next week we'll probably be getting episode 13. So thank you for watching, guys. This was my reaction to episode number 12 of Aono Hako. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Aono Hako. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.